What's up, everybody, and happy Friday. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. Go ahead and check them out in the description to this video. Back in my green shirt again today, guys. This is the fourth five-star map we have had in 1 week. I mean, I've been here since 2020, and at least since I've been working, we have not seen that many five-star maps that concentrated together. So we are going to go over Lawton's five-star map. Heather's laughing in the corner. I think that's probably a new record, right? This seems like, yeah, she's saying, yeah, this is like a lot for five-star maps today. So we're going to go over the last one for this work week, at least, probably. We'll see what today does. Getting into the Front Range and Southeast, looking pretty scattered today. Should be quieter relatively compared to the past few, but then we're back at it tomorrow, and it's looking like a very similar setup to what we saw into yesterday through Oklahoma City and DFW. We'll see what we get. So we're going to take a look at all of that, plus the tropics here, getting into yesterday first. So look at all of these wind reports, first of all. I mean, it was a hail day. We got a five-star map and a four-star in Texas that we're going to go over, but there was a ton of wind that we have to note here across the Central Plains and the Southeast. Now for hail, here's this first swath that tracked through Lawton. We got multiple swaths and long trackers. We're going to go ahead and look at all of it here in a second. And then some storms are riding across I-40, trying to make their way into Oklahoma City, died out right before it made it into the metro. And, you know, so nothing wild out of Oklahoma City metro area. Norman did get some hail. Again, we'll go over it. And then into the late night hours, that storm just kind of sunk down to the southeast through the northern suburbs, missed Dallas-Fort Worth proper, but it did hit some of the DFW suburbs, so we'll take a look at that. And then through the southeast, just a ton of hail and wind tracked through, not any as severe as we saw out in the Central Plains, but we did get quite a bit of severe activity through the southeast again into yesterday. So, for our five-star in Lawton, got, like I said, multiple storms tracking through, and you got some more tracking into the Oklahoma City area, fizzling out right before they hit I-40 and then I-35 a little further south. But for these couple of storms down south, we got multiple areas, specifically Lawton and Medicine Park, that got hit by two different storms that produced very large hail. The max size on this purple swath here was 4 inches. So mega hail going through the Lawton area. Got multiple pictures of damage, as well as a lot of folks just with handfuls of super large hail. So got that going for Lawton into yesterday. And then up in Oklahoma City, the Lawton storm was the bulk of what made this map a five-star, but we did have some storms that, again, tried to track into Yukon, tried to make its way into Norman. But the Tuttle-Newcastle area specifically got 2.5-inch stones with that storm that tracked through. So a few areas got impacted with different swaths into yesterday. If you guys are interested in that map, go ahead and scan the QR code in the banner up above me or click the link in the description to the video if you guys don't have our products already and you want to view this map. If you already have hail trace and you want to go ahead and check all of that out, you can look at the Lawton, Fort Sill, Sayre, Tuttle, Norman, Oklahoma hail map, and that'll pull up for you. But overall, with all of those storms combined, hit over 122,000 homes, and a lot of that was with large hail. So solid little five-star for Lawton, Oklahoma into yesterday. And then, of course, Texas can't be left out of it because it's Texas and it's this week. So got a few storms that tracked down southeast. Again, it missed Dallas-Fort Worth proper, but it did go through areas like McKinney, areas like Prosper, and Sanger specifically. Check out that max hail size. 5.5-inch hail, making a run at the state record, not quite reaching it, but that Sanger swath did get 5.5-inch hail off of it. A crazy day for them. Short little burst of it, but then for other swaths, we got long track hailstorms that moved through, starting just to the northwest of Prosper, and then, you know, along the Red River, tracking down south with that large hail, making it all the way to, and forgive me if I mispronounce this, Nacogdoches. moved all the way down there with baseball-sized stones before finally tapering off. So solid, again, 4-star map for Texas, and hit over 290,000 homes with that. Name of the map is McKinney, Sanger, Sherman, Jacksonville, Texas hail. So very, very busy day, and I just want to take this time, if you guys don't have hail trace, I want to take this time to tell you we map all of these storms live. The people mapping these storms right now have been up all night watching these. We got almost like 450 or so storm reports from yesterday across 18 different states, and they were on top of it. So guys, give a shout out to our mapping team, show them some love. They are exhausted after this week, but they've been absolutely crushing it. So now looking into our current conditions, all right, what are we going to get today? So we've got some storms tracking towards the Atlantic, and those have been bringing some sporadic severe hail through the Philly area and out through New Jersey. Got a couple of severe storms off of that, and then a severe thunderstorm watch for the area for ping pong ball-sized hail possible, as well as 70-mile-an-hour winds. We will see another band of storms starting up behind that one and tracking through. So after this tracks into the Atlantic, you're not quite done for the Northeast. Then down into the Southeast, got another severe thunderstorm watch in effect for, again, 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail with the remnants of this band tracking off towards Florida. You can see it starting to fizzle out once it hits the Gulf, so that should be in and out pretty quickly here. Then, for the Central Plains and the Front Range, looking typical setup here with sunny skies, and you can kind of see a disturbance right here as this low swings through and starts to disturb all those nice warm temperatures and dew points, getting us some storms through that region today. So here's our overall map and our, temperatures here. 92 degrees in Houston, and you guys had like 77-degree dew points. So if you're down in Houston, it is like sticky down there, and that's starting to get pulled up into the plains. It's really muggy. It's summer weather down here. 87 degrees in Dallas, 84 in Kansas City. So nice and warm through here, where we're going to get those storms developing today and tomorrow, and staying the same through the Southeast in the mid-80s. So this whole area here is ready for severe weather, and you can see on the jet stream map here, so this is kind of it doesn't have our little jet stream symbol on it, but it's kind of laying right here, and where this little trough is, that's what's disturbing these storms through Arkansas right now. And then you got this bigger scale system right here that's getting ready to track into Oklahoma for tomorrow. And with that, we could see more organized thunderstorms, again, kind of similar to what we got yesterday. So looking at the overall instability through the region, with that little shortwave trough that we have there, we've got some good instability out ahead of it through the southern Mississippi Valley and the East Texas area, maxing out those instability values, and then got enough through the Front Range, and it gets super cold with Hyde up there, so it's good for hail out here through the Central Plains, and then that big hail through the southern Mississippi Valley for today. Then into tomorrow, pops back up, starts getting pulled up into Oklahoma and North Texas, as well as even parts of southern Kansas here by around 5 p.m. when storms initiate, and so we could see some stuff tracking into central Oklahoma, central North Texas with the potential for large hail into tomorrow. So for today, what all this looks like is we got a few isolated storms developing along I-70 here and through basically just the northeast corridor of Colorado, some around Denver, but it looks like things are probably going to start developing and getting a little stronger as they head off to the east, and then they'll quickly become like a complex of storms. So it's going to be a very brief bout that we could potentially see some larger hail into today, and then it'll transition more to wind and smaller hail as that moves eastward into Kansas and Nebraska for this afternoon and into the overnight hours. Then down into the southeast, it's going to be very scattered. So we've got these storms developing here by around 5 p.m. Some of these could produce some large hail as they move down to the southeast. 7 p.m., again, now we've got kind of a complex forming here along 55 near Tupelo and central Mississippi here. And then got some more storms developing down by Mobile. But take note of Texas. Again, can't leave them out. You got some cells developing in a really good environment for large hail just to the southeast of Dallas. And so those should track down into East Texas further, and all this stuff kind of tapering off through the afternoon and overnight, and then redeveloping for your Saturday morning. Then up into the mid-Atlantic. Got those storms moving off right now, and then we'll have another band along the DC and like Richmond area by around 2 p.m., a couple hours from now. Should track off to the east and then be out of your way into the Atlantic and should have a clearer night by around 12:30, 1:30 Eastern. So should be pretty easy for you guys in the Atlantic as that stuff tracks off, but down through the southeast and through the high plains here, you got a longer day ahead and possibly through the overnight with those storms. Low end chance of seeing severe hail through North Platte. This says Tulsa, but that's Denver, and then Pueblo into today. And then as things track towards Colby, got a better chance to see some large hail, especially through the eastern Colorado, western Kansas corridor. But like I said, it's going to be a pretty brief bout of that. Then down into the southeast, Waco. You got a chance with that cell, but again, it's like 1 or 2 cells that are through eastern Texas tracking southeast, so the chances of you getting hit by that are low, but it should be popping up in that area. And then out through this corridor of the Mississippi Valley here in southeast from Little Rock all the way down into Mobile. That's where those storms will most likely be consistently tracking today, so moderate chance for you guys to see some hail. Could get up to maybe 2 inches here and there with those storms. And then down into Florida, low end chance for you, but you are in the risk to see maybe some quarters. Then up all the way through from really Philadelphia down into Raleigh, you could see some severe hail with that second wave of storms that's coming later this afternoon. DC and Norfolk have the best chance to get hit by that, and you could possibly see a ping pong ball or 2 with those storms. Then for wind, going to be the same 3 areas here. Watching the high plains for a chance to get some gusts up to 60, especially once they form that complex. So now Colby and Dodge City, you got a better chance of seeing that really than hail, but a moderate for both. Going to see, again, that complex track off into Kansas and Nebraska, producing maybe some high winds here and there. Then down into the southeast, nothing like we saw yesterday, but a scattered chance to see a gust up to 60 or 2 through that region. Little Rock, Memphis, down into Mobile, best chances for you, but low end across the board from Florida into Texas. Then up into the mid-Atlantic. Again, DC and Norfolk, you guys are in a moderate for high winds, but anywhere from Raleigh all the way up into really New Jersey along the coastline could potentially see some higher winds with that band of storms tracking off. Then for tornadoes, really only looking at the Colorado high plains into Kansas for today's tornado chances with any cells that really get going. They're going to be very short-lived through that area and probably very scattered, like 1 or 2. Colby, you guys are in the risk, but the lowest of the low end for you guys into today. Then tomorrow, again, it's a chance to be a version of yesterday. I mean, storms initiating pretty much along the same corridor through western Oklahoma and the eastern Texas panhandle here with those isolated supercells through that region. And again, it's very high unstable environment, so the potential for large hail as well as possible tornadoes is there for these storms as they get ready to track eastward. And then you can see them just kind of going up once they get into the better and better environment into 7 p.m., starting to get those cells forming even stronger, but some of them now starting to cluster up and again produce that wind threat as they track east. So now we got large hail and wind on the table. As things move into Dallas, it's possible to kind of break apart and get a little messier to the south. So, you know, it's very similar to yesterday. Could see things kind of tracking to your north and east with the heaviest conditions. Wichita could potentially get some high winds by around 10 p.m. And then watching these cells as they track into Oklahoma City by around midnight or shortly after. Could potentially get some severe hail off of those, and again, high winds through the region. And then that'll track down to the southeast, forming this cluster of storms by 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. on Sunday, with the potential for some morning high winds for you guys in Louisiana and Arkansas. Then down into the southeast should be much more scattered, seeing things kind of sinking down towards the Gulf Coast by around 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. As those sink down, it should be very here and there with your thunderstorms, and then, you know, you'll just have the remnants of the plain storms moving in for your Sunday morning, so quieter overall for the southeast, but you'll see a few scattered waves moving in through your Saturday. So, watching the chance for the most intense hail through, again, East Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma, with the initial development of those supercells. And then as they track east, kind of cluster together, you see those hail chances die off a little bit. So Colby, Kansas City, Said it, sorry. But Colby into Kansas, you got a chance to see, some possible quarters to half dollars. But again, the craziest stuff is likely going to be in western Oklahoma, particularly Woodward, Dodge City down into Wichita Falls. That's where things stay isolated. That's where those supercells develop. Oklahoma City, in a moderate for now. We'll update you tomorrow. We'll put out a post with a graphic and everything and let you know what this is looking like into tomorrow afternoon. But if those cells can track into the city, you know the deal, large hail possible. If things cluster up or, track to your north, then you're going to be on the low end for maybe some quarters. So watching Oklahoma City into tomorrow. Fort Smith and Little Rock, low end chance for you with the remnants of that cluster. Then down into Texas. Again, Abilene, you could possibly get a couple scattered storms making it all the way down that far south. So low end chance for you guys. Low end chance right now for DFW, but again, it's possible that we could shift this a little bit further east just depending on the way this system sets up into tomorrow. So stay tuned for that update. And then all the way down through the southeast, low end chance for everybody through there to see some severe hail, maybe some quarters to half dollars for now. And you're gonna, as usual, get some gusty winds through this whole swath, and we could potentially get some really high winds again in the Central Plains for tomorrow, as well as tornadoes. So we'll keep you guys updated on everything. That's what we have for severe weather for right now. And then surprise, we got more in the tropics, all right? So going into the Atlantic, particularly the western Atlantic, we've got, the eastern Atlantic here, off the west coast of Africa, we've got this development that's kind of sitting there right now, not really doing a whole lot, but we do have a solid environment out ahead of it for development, but you can kind of see it kind of trying to develop here in this little complex right now over the past few hours, and this is what we're working with, all right? So this is a new graphic here. This is going to be our wind shear graphic, and the higher, the brighter colors just mean it's a better environment for hurricane or tropical storm development, all right? That's where the wind shear is lowest, and they can't have that to develop. So you can see that corridor right there of low wind shear across the western Atlantic, and that's where it's moving right now into, the central basin. Could potentially see some development due to that. And then one more for you. This is tropical cyclone heat potential. Basically, if you guys are familiar with CAPE from hail, that's what this is for you guys. It's just the amount of energy that you get to form those tropical cyclones, and it's starting to make its way into moderate values once it tracks into, again, the central basin. So for the first couple of days here, as it makes its way that way, not a whole lot of chance of development, but once it makes its way into the central Atlantic, that's when we could potentially see more on that system. So 10% chance for the next 2 days for development on this guy. 50% chance over the next 5 days that we could potentially see this become our B tropical storm, second one of the year that is named, so keeping an eye on that. So that's what we have for you guys for today. We'll see what happens into the weekend. Can we go 5 for 5 on 5-star maps for this week? Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And just a note, we did all our live coverage on TikTok yesterday, so go ahead and follow us there if you want to make sure that you always know what's going on with those active maps. Then if you want to get in contact with us or get access to any of our products, go ahead and scan that QR code in the banner there or click the link in our description if you guys want to sign up, or you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at hailtrace, or email us at info@hailtrace.com. We have an email, it's listed there. And then go to our website at hailtrace.com for more details, and we'll let you guys know what's going on with your severe weather risks as they come at us. Stay tuned to our stories, and we'll keep you guys updated. But for now, have a great weekend, and I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.